Recently, there have been a lot of criticism directed at Central European countries for refusing to ratify or implement the Istanbul Convention. It is important to note that, contrary to liberal propaganda, the Convention is not about the protection of women. Instead, in reality, it uses the protection of women as a Trojan horse to introduce radical gender ideology in the signatory countries.
The real aim of the Istanbul Convention, hidden behind the pretext of protecting women, is to introduce the concept of gender as a social construct. A direct result of this would be the elevation of dozens of artificial genders into national legal frameworks. This is done in order to undermine the concept of biological sex and to weaken the traditional identities of men and women. This would begin the dissolution of traditional society, and parallelly, the far left would launch its struggle for achieving legal equality of an infinite number of desire-oriented genders.
We have already seen countless examples of this in the West, where gender-neutral bathrooms have been designated. Work and school environments have been made safe for all genders. The text of the Istanbul Convention also contains several radical feminist pronouncements.
The implementation of the Convention would mean the teaching of gender ideology and the deconstruction of traditional sexual identities in schools. There would be gender-neutral toys in primary schools and lectures designed to sensitize the students in high schools. Tens of millions of parents would have their parental right to raise their children as they see fit curtailed. Should we allow our children to be deliberately so confused? Is this what we want? This is already happening in nursery schools, kindergartens, and schools of the West.
Naturally, everybody agrees that protecting women and the victims of domestic violence in general is a noble aim. But the Istanbul Convention is not about that. It is a wolf in sheep's clothing. It is nothing short of an attempt to end traditional society as we know it. It is a radical leftist social experiment, and as such, it is unacceptable. We must also see that those countries that have already ratified the Convention have not seen a reduction in violence against women. The Convention, therefore, doesn't provide any help to the victims of domestic violence. In contrast, the Hungarian practice, which tightened the criminal code and continues to expand and improve victim support services, proves that necessary protections can be put in place within the national framework.
Further, we will not accept any attempts by the European Union to use procedural trickery to force the Istanbul Convention down member states' throats, including Hungary's. This is exactly why, working in concert with other European conservative institutes, we have launched our petition. We wish to send a clear message to Brussels. Hands off the traditional family, hands off the traditional male and female identities, hands off national sovereignty.